Hey guys, Infidel 1258 here. Today I want to talk to you about Chaos Legion packs and how I think they're going to appreciate in price, plus the cards themselves, plus rentals, plus our community is going to grow because we're going to be giving 500,000 Chaos Legion packs to Nifty Arcade. I think this is an amazing thing. I think this is win-win-win, and I want to share my thoughts on this because it seems as though some of you disagree based on the reaction I've seen to Aftersound's amazing video. Shout out to Aftersound. Watched your initial video, watched your reaction to some of your comments, and I can't believe people are salty about this. I want to unpack why I think this is absolutely a win-win-win, and I just can't see, how you would be disappointed by this. So if you are one of the people that think that this is a terrible idea, I hope you'll watch this video in full, but then leave a comment explaining why I get it wrong, because I want to know, I want to understand if I'm missing it. But it seems to me like this is just a win, guys. So let's talk about it today. Thanks so much for your time and attention. And if you want to be present when I do these live recordings with my members only, check out my community tab on the YouTube page. Thanks guys, have an awesome day. Bye for now. Okay, so I mentioned briefly the idea that the Chaos Legion packs are going to sell out, and we're moving closer to an airdrop, and we know from the recent town hall that they're going to be giving 500,000 packs to Nifty and Nifty Arcade to create packs to create sets of cards that will be rented to bronze level players, silver level players to explore the game and maybe get hitched on this experience. I haven't commented on this yet. I would just say before I talk about the economics and the card, what this will do for the economy, I would just open by saying this seems like a great idea to me. I watched Aftersound cover this issue, and then I saw, based on his response, that people flared him. They came at him and with frustration, saying like, "What are you talking about? You're just like a shill." And they said like, what else did they say? Said things like, this is terrible, it's going to affect my card prices and da-da-da-da-da. It's like, guys, here's the thing. Like, people want to complain that there's too many Chaos Legion packs and it affected their price. It affected the card value price. And then they want to complain when the packs are being deleted. And then they want to complain when the packs aren't being deleted, but they're being handed to Nifty, which is going to help set up new accounts and interest new players for free to play the game and try it for a month and explore and maybe get hooked on it. And then simultaneously they want to complain that the new player experience is suffering and there's no real easy way to get into the game. Well, do you see the conflict? Do you see the absolute inconsistency with these various complaints? It's like, do we care about new player experience? Or do we not? Because this is a new player experience opportunity, like a way to create a better new player experience. If we take 500,000 packs, which is 500,000 packs times 5 cards in each pack, so it's 2.5 million cards. And if you're talking about crafting bronze level decks, because that's what they primarily said that they're going to aim at, maybe they'll do some silvers. But the idea is that this is going to translate to a lot of decks that are going to reach into the hands of people who are curious but have no money to play this game. But then they're going to start earning through that month of effort because they share rewards, and so it's going to directly benefit them. And then anecdotally, Aggie said, like, from his research and from the knowledge from people who are doing this sort of thing, like from Nifty, it's like these people stick around. They get a taste for it and they stick around. So do we want to improve the new player experience? Do we want to attract more players? Or do we want to complain about the fact that packs that Splinterlands owns, they are choosing to use? It just makes me crazy when there's like these inconsistencies in the criticism. It's like, you care about one or you care about the other. You can't they are the opposite. You can't tell me you care about new player experience and then be upset when they do something like this. And yet I get it, because there is a financial consideration around, hey, what if they give away 500,000 packs or sell them. I don't care what they do. Like maybe they sell them. I don't know. Like maybe it's money in Splinterlands pockets. Well, guys, first and foremost, these are Splinterlands assets, not DAO assets. So they can choose to do that if they want to, period. End of conversation. But then should they do that? Oh, poor me if they do that. Like they're giving away assets. They're making it easy for these cards to be available. That's going to diminish my returns from the ability to rent or sell my own cards because they're just saturating the market. Think your thoughts through, guys. Like this is like a tough love moment because I feel like I didn't make a comment on this, so I didn't get any flack on this, but just listening to everything Aftersound said and the tension that I've read about in the Discord about this issue, it strikes me that there are people who feel as though that this is going to hurt them and they're not thinking through the positive effect that it would bring. Not just, we talked about new player experience, but that's not where it ends. You talk about how we've talked over the last couple months about how there's too many of these packs, and that's why we're burning some. We talked about how there's about, I think it was like 3 million packs that are unopened, something like that, 2 or 3 million packs that are unopened. They're just sitting in people's hands. And we talked with concern about how that's going to translate to a lack of price appreciation on these packs. One of the hopes for Chaos Legion is that the prices will appreciate one day. We look at Untamed or Beta or Alpha and you see these massive multipliers on what the prices have done. And you think, well, I want that for Chaos Legion. I bought them for $3, $4, $5, $6, whatever my vouchers were at the time. They were expensive and now they're $2.50. Well, they're never going to appreciate if 3 million packs are sitting on the marketplace in people's hands, because that's just too much supply and that's going to reduce the possible price appreciation for a long time. That's been a criticism, and I think there's some merit to that. There's some merit to that thought, but we got to quickly mention that even that seems to not so much be true, because if you look at the price of the Chaos Legion packs, which were $1.50 during the Christmas sale, and now we're at $2.60 on the non-card market, and I think similarly priced over on Hive Engine, you have to recognize that there's a certain amount of tension in the supply. There's a tightening of the hands who hold those 2 or 3 million packs, and so I'm not entirely sure I agree, but this has been a criticism that has been levied. So we then, in that moment, shouldn't we be excited that we get Splinterlands saying, we're going to open 500,000 packs. We're going to open 500,000 packs, meaning they're not being bought and set aside. They're not being put in the DAO for future appreciation. They're not being put off to another day. They're actually being opened and then put to work, yes, to improve a new player experience, but almost forget that for a moment and just be like, the fact they're being opened is actually a really big step towards the eventual appreciation of your packs that you hold, because it means that there will be fewer unopened packs in a very soon. That's 500,000 packs that are going to be open. That's gigantic. That's really, really cool, and that should be exciting to anyone who has Chaos Legion packs or who has Chaos Legion cards. And then you might think, this is maybe the last point, and I think I've heard people say, well, it's going to hurt the rental prices of my cards because you're creating this opportunity for them to play through Nifty for nothing, and so it's going to hurt the value of my cards. It's going to hurt the price, not just the value of my Chaos Legion cards, but it's also going to hurt the earning potential of my Chaos Legion cards, because why would they rent from me? Why would they buy from me if they could just go enjoy the game for free? You cannot expect, we've seen over 4 years now, you cannot expect new players to just go ape into Splinterlands and just buy a full deck overnight, especially with the audiences we're looking at, like Southeast Asia, where, Philippines is a big community for us. There's a lot of players there. They don't make hundreds of dollars, US dollars a day. The income is far, far lower. And so the suggestion or the presumption that we're going to just create, that there's going to suddenly be this influx of new players that are going to just ape into massive positions for Splinterlands, buying up all your cards, renting out cards from you, is not very reasonable. It's more logical. And actually, before I go into what's more logical, I think that will happen. There will be moments where we get these massive influxes of new players, and you will see people buying up decks, and that will trigger price appreciation. But that's more bull run moment where people start FOMOing in. If we want sustained growth from new interested players, it's not good to just sit and wait and say like, hey, let's just wait till the next bull run when people will, ape in because they're just eager to and they don't want to miss out. Oh, that's reactive, that's hopeful, that's like not being proactive and seeking like the initiative. Instead, let's create a moment where they can come try the thing literally for a month. And it sounds like just for a month. Like after that, you can't get another access to one of these things. It sounds like that was one thing Aggie said in the recent town hall. And in that way, they'll get a taste for what they could do. And then maybe they've earned a little bit, and they do then come to the marketplace and they start renting because they actually want to try again in the second month, and then in the third month, and then they start to buy cards, and then they start to earn reward cards, and then their deck starts to build. And I think seems like a proactive and thoughtful way to potentially grow not just the value of the pack, but I think it will, because you're opening 500,000. Not just the value of the cards, but I think it will, because you're gonna create a new audience, invite in a new audience of players that will eventually need to rent or buy their own cards, but also just to invite and create a better new player experience. So I'm so astounded actually that I saw any flack or criticism toward this idea. I thought this was amazing, and like Aftersound, I wish the DAO would also do this. Like we have assets in the DAO. What if we took those assets and bought up Chaos Legion packs and did this another time? But I think we're just too close now. We're too close to being done. But it's something that could happen, and it's something that I think would ultimately create its potential, that it would create a resource generating asset within the DAO that could support future operation of the DAO, like the payments of the validators. So I think there's a lot of benefit to thinking that through. I think more than just the benefit that could be for a DAO. I think there's just so many obvious positives and pros that would come out of doing this with Nifty. And at the end of the day too, Aggie said it, like, if this doesn't work, we just burn those cards. Like, done. No one wanted it. It wasn't helpful. It didn't recruit new players. Delete. So I don't get it. I wonder what you guys think about this. Like, guys who are watching, members who are watching. But I suspect you guys are I don't know. Are you on board with this idea of giving away the 500,000 packs or selling them or whatever's happening there so that Nifty can do this? And do you agree with me about this like new player experience and how we've argued and we've strived for that, and this would be part of it? And also my logic around how this actually will translate into pack appreciation as well as card appreciation, because it translates into a new player experience that leads to more players. But also it is 500,000 packs that are opened, and that is going to be less supply available for the packs themselves, meaning pack appreciation. So I just feel like it's good at every level. But what do you guys think? Yeah, I mean, it strikes me that there is no downside to this. It would be better if there was a purchase from our community, like thirsty new players just bought up the rest of the Chaos Legion packs. That would be better, but that's a pipe dream. That's not happening. And so in the context of this situation where that's not happening, I think this is a very creative solution for how we could put those to work to improve not only the new player experience, but also the older player experience by absolutely improving the value proposition of those assets. Again, how? Incentivizing new players to get involved. That creates new demand for both the rental cards eventually, once they no longer have access to their 1 free month, as well as purchasing cards off the marketplace. We got to grow the player base if we want to see, I guess, the supply get soaked up. I just can't see how people don't see that. It's a win-win for both parties for sure. That's how I see it, man. That's it. Like, I don't know. I feel as though sometimes we get caught just looking short term. Well, if you open up 500,000 packs and you give those cards to them, it's going to take away from my rental profits in the short term. That's probably true in the short term. But if you just look even like 3 months in the future, can you understand that opening 500,000 packs, 500,000 packs are no longer going to be held just waiting for a market appreciation, which is what 2 or 3 million packs are apparently doing. And so you want as few of those packs left unopened as possible so that the pack appreciates. And then you want as many players enjoying this game as possible so that the cards and the rentals appreciate. And this will do all of that, won't it? Like if I'm missing something, guys, I don't see it. And shout out to Aftersound because I thought he did a great job covering that. And yeah, maybe I'll leave it there. But yeah, thanks a lot for everything you guys do. I hope you have an amazing day. God bless you.